All right, so the first thing we always want to do is write the problem down, right? No matter what, we should be writing down the original problem. And guys, by that, I don't mean the problem after you substitute stuff in or anything like that. I mean the original problem. So P plus negative Q minus 2, where P is negative 3, Q is 5. So we're going to substitute each of these things independently, right? So substitute really means replace. So if P is negative 3, we're going to drop negative 3 in for the P value. Then we still had, just like the last problem we did, plus the negative was in before we ever replace Q. And I think people are struggling on. Then we replace Q, and Q is 5. Right, I'm checking for any negatives that we forgot. Q's 5. So the negative came from the problem. The 5 came from substituting for the Q. And really we could close that with our purple or maroon. Now, here we've taught not liking subtraction. So can you remind me what we do instead of subtraction?
We add.
Add what? Because we can't just get rid of the subtraction. We can change what it is. Sorry, I gotta plug in my charger because I realize my battery's going. So instead of doing subtraction, we change it to look just like this one does, a plus the negative. So I'm going to rewrite everything in the same color now, just to kind of clean things up. So we have negative 3 plus negative 5 plus negative 2. Because remember, we don't really like subtraction. We change it to negative. But remember, it's the same symbol. We can just change what we call it. So we can say plus the negative. Because now it's easier to compare like our good guys, bad guys. So now when I look through here, I've got negative number, negative number, negative number. So all bad guys, right? So really we know that it's going to make a bigger bad guy. What's 5 plus 3 plus 2? 5 and 3 is 8. 2, yeah, 10. So bad guy 10 or negative 10. See, I think the next problem was very similar. Let's just shift gears a tiny bit and do another fraction one, which I definitely think I'll need a new sheet of paper for this. Do you guys have any questions about this one? How we substituted in, how we got to this value? It's straight from one of the problems from this week's homework. All right. Our next problem here is this 1 plus negative 2/3. So if you guys want to go ahead and start writing that down. Minus negative m, where m is 9/2. So when we substitute only the 9/2 in for m, well, before we even substitute the 9/2 in, we see minus a negative. What do we know we can do with minus a negative?
Positive.
Yeah, it turns into positive, right? And turns into plus a positive if we want to say that, but we don't really have to say the plus. So this minus the negative is going to become plus m.